A team from Singapore will be competing at the World Agility Open for the first time. It's an annual international championship where dogs and their handlers showcase their talents in agility.
Dewi Fabry joined them at their most recent practice to find out more about the sport and the team.
Michelle Chan and Geraldine Young are practicing for the World Agility Open. They will represent Singapore at the competition in the Netherlands from the 15th to the 17th of May, competing against 33 other countries in a championship that showcases the highest level of human-canine partnership and athleticism. Similar types of dogs compete against one another in different jump height divisions. Handlers will have to navigate their dog through around 20 obstacles, and these include a tunnel, an A-frame, a seesaw and weave poles. It's a race where speed and accuracy will determine the winner. There are different events and teams that will have to complete the obstacles in the fastest time with the least number of faults. It sounds simple enough, and yet this is the first time Team Singapore will be competing.
Previously, individuals have gone to compete overseas, but now we have reached a stage where we have our standards in agility are a lot higher, and we're ready to compete on an international level and take on the big guns. Ready, go, jump!
Interest in dog agility classes and competitions has grown locally over the past few years, with the dog owners looking to train their pooches in a variety of skills. It's a sport that canines of all shapes and sizes can take part in.
We don't recommend you start jump training during puppyhood because that could actually adversely affect the structural growth in a puppy. But there are a lot of non-agility specific skills that are good, not just for agility dogs, but also for your dog to grow up into a well-mannered dog that you can teach and start training right from young.
To be really ready for the competition, it depends on how fast your dog learns and how much training you put into making the dog an agility dog. But if it's a beginner, actually they also can join like a local competition to gain exposure, because there are some dogs who train like for years but they have never been to competition. When they go on a competition ground, they freaked out.
Handlers communicate with their dogs on the course using body cues and positioning.
Where we stand on the course, where our shoulders are pointed, where our feet are pointed, that tells the dog where to go and what to do next. Of course, what also helps is to be able to train a dog to recognize verbal cues, so that whenever you're not able to put yourself in a particular or the right spot, the dog can still execute the obstacle on a verbal cue.
This means that Team Singapore will be competing under slightly more challenging circumstances than some of the other countries. They'll be handling these Dutch dogs, as they won't be bringing their own due to quarantine restrictions. So how will these Dutch dogs be able to understand them?
I think body language is quite international. So you have to run faster because you have to make your body language very obvious, because the dog don't understand you. We have videos of the dogs we are going to handle, so we can roughly know which entrance they are comfortable with, so we can work towards that, which will help us and learning some Dutch, I guess.
Whether they win or lose in the Netherlands, Team Singapore have already proved that they are champions of the agility scene here.
And we've got some very special guests here with us to share more about dog agility. They are Sharon de Castro, the manager of the Singapore team heading for the WAO Open, and handler Michelle Chan, and Munchkin, a Scottish Terrier. Welcome to all three of you.
Thank you.
Sharon, let's start with you. We'll get to Munchkin and Michelle in just a bit. What comes first, dog agility or the handler's ability?
I think at the level of competition that we're looking at, the World Agility Open that we are heading for, it's definitely the handler skill that is more important, because it's only at the beginning when you're starting out agility that you have to train the dog to do obstacles and things like that. But once you get to an international level competition, the handler, everything that the handler does is to navigate the dog through the whole course, to direct the dog which jump to go next. So even something as simple as the way that you are moving your body or your shoulders will tell the dog which obstacle to jump to next.
Right.
Yes.
All right, Michelle, you're here, Munchkin is here. Show us what are some traits or qualities that a good handler has?
Well, I may not be able to show you here, but I'll be able to explain it a little bit. A good agility handler really is very aware of their body cues when they're running the dog on the agility field, where their shoulders are pointed, where their feet are pointed. That gives the dogs cues as to what they're supposed to do now and where they're supposed to go next. That plus the ability to recognize and train a dog to commit to performing an obstacle while you run to the next one, so that you can be ahead and give cues early. That's very important as well. It's kind of like being the GPS navigation system in your car. You know, the GPS tells you where to go next before you even get there. And that's what basically we do as a good agility handler.
Is it the same thing when it comes to static exercises?
Static exercises does help to get the dog to learn how to perform something regardless of whatever you're doing. So that really helps as well when you're doing agility, yes.
So we saw in that package just now, the story, several different breeds of dogs. Munchkin's a Scottish Terrier. Sharon, does it matter what breed the dog is in terms of its ability?
Yeah, well, any dog can do agility, but if you look at the top competitions, the preferred breed are usually the herding dogs, the working dogs, so dogs like border collies, Shetland sheepdogs, terrier group like Munchkin here, dogs that hunt or dogs that herd. These are the dogs with more drive, so they are usually preferred by agility handlers to join competitions.
I think we've heard a lot about dog handling, but we haven't actually seen it yet. Why don't Munchkin and Michelle, would you like to give us a demonstration?
Yeah.
Or Sharon? Either one of you. Demonstration is fantastic for
like
viewers at home.
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Well, okay. It's not a full agility course here we're doing, but just a simple exercise in concentration. Munchkin, tap.
Wow, it's almost like a high five.
Yes, tap. Give me a bear. Yes. Good girl.
There's a round of applause, I think.
Thank you, Munchkin.
So these are not the things that you'll be doing at WAO. It's more the running and the jumping and all that.
Yeah.
Tell us what your chances are of winning this competition.
I think that we are cautiously optimistic. This is the first time that we're there. But I think what we're trying to do really is to prepare ourselves for future competitions as well, international competitions. So whatever result we get from this will definitely take away a lot of experiences, a lot of learning from this competition.
Okay.
I think what we really want to do is by joining this competition, we are putting Singapore on the map. We want to tell people that Singapore is a country that does dog agility and that we're good at it, and we just want to make our presence felt there.
Yeah, I'm sure Munchkin is good at it.
Yeah, thanks so much for bringing awareness to this and good luck as well in the competition. Thank you so much again. Sharon Castro there and Michelle Chan, who are going to be representing Singapore, of course, at this year's World Agility Open Championships in the Netherlands, and Munchkin, of course.